Hey guys, this is Rocket Bronson, and I recorded an expert realism run, and I decided I just wanted to do some commentary over it just because, and just to see how this will turn out. Maybe I could give you guys some helpful tips here and there and whatnot. This isn't scripted, unfortunately. I tried scripting this, but it just didn't come out as well. So we'll just see how it goes with me winging it here. The reason why I'm commentating over this run in particular is because this is the first time I've ever tried one of these sorts of runs, and it was pretty exciting. And you'll see why in a little while, or over the course of the run. First things first, headshots do more damage on expert realism if you didn't know. And for the most part, well, melee weapons kill zombies in one hit, the common infected. And some of the special infected as well. Right here I hear my first witch. Unfortunately I don't have any of the tools to take her out here. She was in the way of my path. You'll see in a bit. Right here. And I couldn't just crown her because this is expert realism. And if you guys don't know what crowning is, it's just going up to her and just blasting her with a shotgun. And for the most part on any other difficulty, it's possible to kill her just like that. But on expert realism, she's a bullet sponge, man. Oh, and right here, I try to wait for an extra path to appear because I know this wall that I'm looking at right here, I'll hit it in a bit, is breakable, and I'm just waiting for a special effect to come along and break it, but my patience was wearing thin, and so I just decided to run by the witch, knowing that one of my bots was more than likely going to die. Which is unfortunate, but this level in particular, or this stage in particular, isn't that bad to get through. Right here, you'll see me miss a few of my melee swings like I just did there. And I guess my best advice I can give you guys for meleeing is just to be as close as possible to your target, because you don't want to be missing your swings like I'm doing here. And pretty much at the end of the level.
Was close.
You should heal up. I'm down.
Hold still, I can heal you. Stop squirming, I'm gonna heal you.
I'm with you.
Hey, thanks, man.
It was pretty dark in here, so I had a little bit of difficulty looking for all the zombies in this little room.
Auto shotgun. Watch my back.
I want to make sure that my bots are nice and healthy for a little bit later on in this stage, because later on this stage you're going to have to power up like a generator like room, and it's just useful to have your bots until then, because you can't just book it to the safe room at this point without them. Here's another witch. Unfortunately, I've put in another situation where I'm just going to have to let another one of my bots die here.
That witch is getting bit.
And right there is exactly why you can't crown a witch. She's just way too tanky. Just ridiculous. From here on out, I'm taking it slow just to keep an eye on my bots, make sure that they're good until that generator event.
Weapons here. Lewis, heal for Christ's sake.
Yeah, just letting Lewis heal right here. One thing that I learned with the auto shotgun is that you want to constantly be reloading. You don't want to run too low on ammo.
Might need these. Grab and peel.
Cover me.
Right here I'm just setting up the gas tanks in this room and at the most common spawning points for the common infected, just to take care of them easier and protect my guys.
Get ready, lady.
The gate's just about open, and from just about this point I can go ahead and book it. Take my pills here just in case. I got pretty lucky here because as soon as I loaded the tank right here, Zoe had gotten thrown up on by the boomer, so they had all the attention of the common infected, which gave me enough room to squeeze by the tank right here and just run right by him. There's no reason to fight him here because you could pretty much just book it. Go ahead and heal here just to gain my speed. Get lucky with that spitter. She didn't see me. And I just go ahead and book it. Blast this jockey. And make it. Pretty exciting stuff. Pretty sure I had my butt cheeks clenched throughout that run.
Go ahead, I'll follow you. Hospital's just on the other side of the waterworks. Get on the left! Hurry up! All right,
Coming.
let's go. Shit! Help!
Don't worry, I can help you up.
AI was being pretty questionable here, and Bill went ahead and just he just ends up dying here near the fire barrel. And I'm just like, shake my head, man.
Shit, man, no!
I'm tired of waiting. I'm with you.
I'm coming.
Oh, and right here is a good example of what not to do. I just went ahead and ran into the crowd of zombies. This is a good, surefire way to get yourself killed. I should have just backed off and just taken it slow. Lewis gets boomed on. So yeah, so I pretty much keep in mind that he has all the attention of the common infected here. Because at this moment I just end up booking it. So I take full advantage of Lewis's boom state.
Lewis! Bunch of guns over here! I hear a witch. Kill that light. Is anyone there? Zoe!
Knowing that I haven't seen a tank at this point, I'm pretty much expecting one, so just to be safe and just so I can outrun it, I take my adrenaline shot here. And I go around this hospital bed thinking he would chase me around it, but he went ahead and tried to cut me off, and it got really close and intense. But luckily I just had that added speed just to outrun him.
Lewis? Hold on. Gotta heal.
Now at this point we're coming up on the elevator event where you just have to defend yourself until the elevator comes down to your floor level. And I had tried different things. I tried camping out in other rooms and waiting for the elevator to come by and such. But at this point, I just decided to fight like hell, and it ends up paying off. So I guess my number one advice on expert realism for moments like this is just to get efficient at killing, man. And it takes time and practice. But hey, if I can do it, you can do it. And I'll admit I'm not the best at FPS games.
Which one of you jackasses just beefed?
Oops, sorry.
Another thing I forgot to point out, which I probably should have pointed out in the beginning of the run, is that I'm not using the default survivor bots for this run. I'm using human-like survivor bots, and I downloaded it off the Steam Workshop, and I'll go ahead and I'll put a link in the description below for those sorts of bots, because really when you're playing on expert realism, you don't want to have to deal with the problems that the default bots give you. It just saves you the headache. And if you have smart bots, well, they're a way bigger help for these sorts of runs. At this point, I'm taking it slow once again because I haven't seen the tank. And I feel that I'm gonna see one soon here. So I'm just taking it slow and safe. Right here you can go ahead and hear the tank.
Reloading! Reloading!
safe room is so close, man. And at this point, I just wanted to work my way around him. So I had every intention of not fighting him right at this point.
Hold on, I'm gonna get you up.
Get a little scared here. I get a little hesitant and end up really cutting it close.
Thought we were goners, huh?
And we've made it to the rooftop.
That helicopter pilot better be here.
If he ain't, at least we die with a nice view of the city.
You should heal up.
The home stretch. It took me about, I want to say, 5 times to get through this. Once again, I had been trying like different methods, different spots and camping. And in the event where I need to hold out until the chopper gets to the helipad, I end up finding a pretty cool spot to hold out, and it's pretty interesting because you'd think the high ground would be the best place to hold out here on the rooftop, but I end up finding a pretty interesting spot here because on the rooftop here you have all the supplies and such, but there wasn't really too many supplies. As you can see here, there wasn't any pipe bombs or molotovs on like near the main roof point where all the ammo and the weapons are stored. But there are molotovs on this little building here, so I go ahead and grab one of these. Setting up the gas cans.
We got some help coming. Let's get ready. Smoker! I'm down. What the hell are you doing, Francis?
And for the most part, in the event, I end up holding out here in this corner, right behind this the building with all the supplies here. And I was genuinely surprised on how well like I held out in this spot in particular. And you'll see how it goes throughout this event here. I honestly don't know what stopped that smoker's tongue. If anybody in the comments would enlighten me of what stopped it, because I didn't know what the hell stopped that smoker's tongue. It just let go from the looks of it. Maybe it was a teammate, but it didn't give me the notification that someone had saved me. But if any of you guys would if any of you guys could let me know, I'm actually interested. see where the tank's coming from, and I go ahead and throw the tank over to him, knowing that he's gonna run through this fire here.
Get your ass up! Let's go!
Hold, hang on. Let me fix you up. Hold up. Let me heal you.
Hunter!
I'm reloading.
Whoa! Nice shot!
Behind you.
The reason why I didn't go ahead and go for the save there and went to go protect Lewis instead is because knowing that he's an AI, he can get up other down teammates without being interrupted by a common infected. So if I was to go ahead and try picking up one of the guys and I was interrupted, well, it just wouldn't have been worth it trying to go ahead and help one of my teammates up. And at this point, it's the home stretch, so I don't have to worry about my teammates' life so much. So if I could just get this tank out of the way, I'm pretty much out of here. I got pretty lucky with that throw. It ended up just getting hit there on the roof, barely.
I can get you up. I can help you out, but you ain't gonna last. We gotta get you some first aid, because you go down like this again.
Reloading.
It's over. Reloading!
Here, I just go ahead and heal up Zoe, just to give her that speed boost. And I make it. Overall, I really enjoyed doing this run. It was exciting, and it was just so satisfying to get it to finally complete it on such a hard difficulty, the hardest difficulty. And I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary over this run, and you all have a good one.